حاضرین گرامی به تالار وبینارها و کنفرانس‌های دانشگاه آنلاین زن خوش آمدید. تیم تکنیکی عملیات وبینارها و کنفرانس‌های تصدی نشرات آنلاین محترمانه از تمامی اشتراک کنندگان و برگزار کنندگان برنامه موارد ذیل را جهت حفظ و تنظیم امور تقاضا می‌نمایند. 1. برای مهمانان و دستاندارکاران برنامه که به صورت مستقیم در آژاندا سهیم هستند، رول و یا نقش کوهاست داده شده است که دارای یک سلسله مسئولیت‌ها و صلاحیت‌هایی هست که می‌خواهیم متوجه آن باشید. لطفاً در بخش‌های هاست منیجمنت که شامل روشن و خاموش نمودن مایک‌های سایر حاضرین، صلاحیت‌های کامره و صفحه، صلاحیت‌های ریاکشن و چت باکس و حاضری و اجازه‌نامه ورود می باشد مداخله ننمایید. این بخش مربوط تیم تکنیکی دانشگاه می شود. ضمناً در صورت روشن ماندن مایک‌های حاضرین و یا بیرون نمودن اشخاص و افراد ناخواسته از جلسه اقدام ننمایید. در صورتی که تعداد اشتراک کنندگان به حد اعظم برسد، تیم تکنیکی برای ثبات و نظم جلسه لینک را بسته نموده و ممکن در حدود 50 ست اضافی را به شکل رزرو خالی نگه دارد. از این رو در صورت آمدن درخواست های اشتراک شما اقدام به اکسپت نکنید. از همه مهمتر این که اگر می‌خواستید جلسه را نسبت به هر مشکلی ناخواسته وقت‌تر از مدت زمان معین ترک نمایید و یا به هر دلیل که شده است، لطفاً از فشار دادن گزینه End the call for everyone که بعد از کنسل برایتان ظاهر می شود جداً خودداری نمایید. حتی ترجیح می دهیم که از گزینه کنسل به صورت کلی پرهیز کنید و مستقیما تب و یا برنامه گوگل میتتان را کلوز یا بسته کنید. 2. از سایر حاضرین و اشتراک کنندگان در برنامه تقاضا به عمل می آوریم تا پیام‌های چت باکس را صرفاً غرض سوالات و مسائل مرتبط به برنامه استفاده نمایند. هرگاه معلومات غیر مرتبط توسط افراد پرسیده شد، ممکن شخص مذکور از جلسه حذف گردد. بر علاوه از همه حاضرین جدا تقاضا به عمل می آید تا از علامت بلند نمودن دست هرگز در جریان برنامه استفاده نکنند. این گزینه صرف در بخش سوالات و جوابات مورد استفاده قرار می گیرد. شما می توانید جهت ابراز نظرتان از بخش ریاکشن ها استفاده کنید و در استفاده از آن نیز منصفانه عمل نمایید. لازم به ذکر است که هرگاه در جریان برنامه ارتباطتان قطع شد و یا بیرون شدید، دوباره می توانید از طریق لینک اصلی وارد شوید. همچنان اگر با کدام مشکل تکنیکی برخوردید می توانید با مدیر صاحب مربوط که با شما لینک برنامه را شریک ساخته است در تماس شوید و اگر مشکل اساسی داشته باشید آنها تیم نشرات را در جریان خواهند گذاشت. 3. آژاندای برنامه با سایر اشتراک کنندگان از قبل در اشتراک گذاشته شده است. از این رو تغییرات در آن و یا درخواست تغییر در روند آژاندا سبب مشکلات برای تیم عملیات وبینارها و کنفرانس‌ها خواهد شد و از سایر مقامات دانشگاهی تقاضا به عمل می آید که در این زمینه با ما همکار باشند. تشکر از حضور پربارتان. خوش آمدید.
بار الها از کوی تو بیرون نشود پای خیالم، نکند فرق به حالم، چه برانی چه بخوانی، چه به اوجم برسانی چه به خاکم بکشانی. نه من آنم که برنجم نه تو آنی که برانی، نه من آنم که ز فیض نگهت چشم بپوشم، نه تو آنی که گدا را ننوازی به نگاهی. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. الحمد لله رب العالمین و الصلاة و السلام علی رسولنا محمد و علی آله و اصحابه اجمعین. عرض سلام و درود و مهر خدمت مؤسس و رئیس دانشگاه آنلاین زن جناب محترم پهنیار عبدالفرید سالنگی، معاون علمی دانشگاه محترم محمد سهیلا عرفانی، معاون امور مسئولان استاد عادل زمانی، معاون اداری اعضای محترم هیئت رهبری هر یک، جناب محترم دکتر ظریف علمستانگزی، جناب محترم دکتر زمیر زمرای، محترم دیپلم سید احمد ابراهیمی، محترم دکتر نصرت الله فقیری، استاد محترم فائزه زیرک، رئیسان محترم دانشکده ها، آمرین محترم دیپارتمنت ها، مدیر صاحبان، استادان گرانمهر، دانشجویان عزیز و مهمان و ارائه دهنده امشب ما دیر پروفسور علا صالح ابو شریطه و یکی دیگر از وبینارهای دانشگاه آنلاین زن شما را خوش آمدید میگویم. این هفته با میزبانی دانشکده انجینری تحت عنوان روش‌های سنتی سردسازی برای دستیابی به ساختمانهای شهری با مصرف انرژی صفری، من و همکار خوبم بانو فازی اسمانی‌زاده در خدمت شما هستیم. در آغاز برنامه اجازه بدهید تا دعوت نمای محترمانه از قاری محترم بانو زهره میرزاد تا با تلاوت چندی از کلام خداوند دلهایمان را صفا بخشیده و نور الهی به مجلس ما عطا نمایند.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم حميم والكتاب المبين إنا أنزلناه في ليلة مباركة إنا كنا منذرين فيها يفرق كل أمر حكيم أمرا من عندنا إنا كنا مرسلين رحمة من ربك إنه هو السميع العليم صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الأمين الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وصلى الله تعالى على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين.
ممنون و مشکور از خانم زهره میرزا بابت اینکه با محفل ما زینت بخشیدن. در این قسمت برنامه محترمانه از همکاران بخش تکنیک تقاضا می نمایم تا ویدیویی که جهت معرفی مهمان و ارائه دهنده امشب ما تهیه نمودند را به دست نشر بسپارم. همکاران بخش تکنیک استیج در اختیارتان است.
In today's world where energy demand is rising and climate change is no longer a distant threat, the way we design and build our cities has never been more important. As urban populations grow and temperatures rise, the pressure on our energy system increases. Our homes, where we spend most of our lives, need to become smarter, greener, and more sustainable. But true innovation doesn't always mean starting from scratch. Sometimes the smartest way forward is to look back toward the wisdom of traditional practices and blend it with the power of modern science. One researcher contributing to this important field is Ala Salah Musa Abu Shreita. He is a PhD student at Moscow State University of Civil Engineering, specializing in sustainable building design and climate adaptation. He holds a master's degree from Peter the Great St. Petersburg Polytechnic University, where he focused on energy efficiency in both traditional and contemporary buildings. His work bridges traditional wisdom with modern innovation, aiming to develop resilient urban spaces that are both culturally grounded and environmentally responsible. Of this webinar is reviving traditional cooling methods to achieve net zero energy goals in urban housing. We appreciate your interest and attention.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. وقل ربی زدنی علما. ژباړه: ای زما پالونکې، زما علم زیات کړه. سلام او درود دی وي پر تاسو ټولو حاضرینو چې په ننني پروګرام کې راسره یاست، او یو ځانګړي سلام د پوهنتون محترم رئیس صاحب پوهانیار عبدالفرید سالنګي، معززه معاونینو، رؤساو، آمرینو، ګرانو مدیرانو او محصلینو ته وړاندې کوم. هیله ده چې ټول روغ جوړ اوسئ او د صحت جامې مو پر تن وي. قدرمنو، تاسو ټولو ته دې ویاړلي پروګرام ته تود هرکلی وایم. لکه څرنګه چې پوهیږئ، زموږ ننني ویبینار د ښارونو د صفر انرژۍ ودانیو د ترلاسه کولو په موخه د یخونو دودیزې تګلارې ته ځانګړې شوې ده، او دا زموږ لپاره یو طلایي فرصت دی چې د ټاکل شوي موضوع په اړه لا ډېرې معلومات ترلاسه کړو. له اغلې زهره میرزا څخه چې زموږ ننني پروګرام یې د قرآن کریم په زرینو آیاتو ښکلی پیل ورکړ، یوه نړۍ مننه کوم، او همچنان له خپلې تخنیکي ټیم څخه هم یو نړۍ مننه کوم. د ویبینار د پیل په دقایقو کې ستاسو قدرمنو ګډونوالو په اجازه غواړم چې د ښځې آنلاین پوهنتون په لنډه توګه معرفي کړم. د ښځې آنلاین پوهنتون کله چې د زده کړو دروازې په نجونو باندې وتړل شوې، خپل فعالیت یې په 2022 د ډسمبر په 22 کې هر یو ښاغلي پوهانیار عبدالفرید سالنګي او میرمن فریده حیدري په مرسته پیل کړ، چې د دوی په زیار او نه ستړي کېدونکي هلو ځلو د علم ډیوه د یو روښانه لمر په څېر وځلېده او د تعلیم نه پاتې خویندې لاسنیوی وکړي، چې دا یو ستر ابتکار او لاسته راوړنه ده چې د دوی د زیار او هلو ځلو پر مټ لاسته راوړل شوې ده. اوس مهال په دې پوهنتون کې اوسني او مخکني دولتي او خصوصي استادان او زیات شمېر علمي او فرهنګي وطنپال او په علم ماین شخصیتونه خپل با ارزښته وخت یې د دې هېواد د راتلونکي نسل د هیلو د پوره کېدو لپاره پرته د کوم مادي امتیاز په رضاکارانه او معیاري ډول وقف کړي دی. د دوی هر یو نه د زړه له تله منندوی یو او د الله پاک نه ورته په دارایینو کې د سرلوړۍ او سعادت غوښتونکي یو. اوس مهال د ښځې په آنلاین پوهنتون کې په 15 بېلابېلو پوهنځیو کې لکه معالجوي طب، ستوماتولوژي، فارمسي، قابلګي، حقوق، اقتصاد، انجینرۍ، کمپیوټر ساینس، ژورنالیزم، شرعیات، ښوونه او روزنه، ارواپوهنه، کرنې او د ژبې او ادبیاتو پوهنځیو کې شاوخوا 17,000 محصلینې په زده کړه باندې بوختې دي. په دې پوهنتون کې د تدریس ترڅنګ محصلینو ته د ظرفیت د لوړوالي لپاره لنډمهال او اوږدمهاله پروګرامونه او ویبینارونه هم وړاندې کیږي، چې نننی پروګرام هم یو د همدې لنډمهالې پروګرامونو څخه دی. هیله ده چې د دې ماښامنۍ له خوږو خبرو اترو څخه په نازکو او خوږو الفاظو خوند واخلو. اوس هم بلنه ورکوم ښاغلي ډاکټر ضمیر زمری د هیئت رهبري عضو چې نننی پروګرام مقدماتي خبرې اترې شروع کړي. محترم دکتر ضمیر زمری.
با عرض سلام و خسته نباشین خدمت همه شما بزرگوارایی که در وبینار حضور دارید. واقعا خیلی خرسند هستم، خوشحال هستم که یک بار دیگه تونستم در این میتینگ اشتراک بکنم و شما را دوباره ببینم. خیلی ممنونتان که با ما هستین. Before we begin, I would like to sincerely thank from Mr. Alasaleh Abu Shirita, sorry for pronunciation if it's wrong, for being with us today and for kindly accepting our invitation to deliver this important webinar. We are very honored to have you here, sir, and we look forward to learning from your expertise on traditional cooling methods and the role of achieving net zero energy goals in urban design. Your presence here today is greatly appreciated, and also it is my pleasure to welcome you all today's academic webinar. The topic we are focusing is both timely and crucial in the context of sustainable urban developments. Reviving traditional cooling methods for net zero energy urban buildings is very important nowadays in the whole world, as the world faces growing energy challenges and the urgent effects of climate change, especially climate change. I can focus on that word. The concept of net zero energy building structures that produce as much energy as they consume has become a key objective for modern architecture and engineering. I don't know about this too much, to be honest, but I look into that, and this is what I found, and it comes very interesting for me as well. One of the most effective paths to achieve this goal is to look back at the traditional techniques that provided thermal comfort long before mechanical system exists, what we have today. Techniques such as wind catches, natural ventilation, especially the dome roof, which is the dome roof, which are very popular, especially in my country and in urban or provinces. While I was searching about the topic, I came up with it as well. And the use of high thermal mass material shows in the earlier generation design buildings that work in harmony with local climate. Today, what I'm thinking is that if we're reintroducing these methods and integrate them with modern technologies, we can significantly reduce energy consumption while preserving cultural and environmental integrity, especially while the world is pushing the boundaries towards the sustainability. To explore this important topic in depth, and I'm very happy and I'm very excited to be here as well. We are honored to welcome Mr. Ala Saleh Abu Shariti. I just, from the introduction by our technical team, I realized that he is a respected researcher in this field, which is a very honor for us. He will share valuable insights and examples on how these traditional methods can be adapted to meet today's energy skill. I encourage everyone to listen closely, take notes, and participate in questions and answer sessions. I think that will follow after this. And a very big thank once again to Dr. Ala Saleh, and thank you very much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the kind opening speech. There's a hadith saying, طلب العلم فريضة على كل مسلم, which is translated to seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim. With that being said, I would like to kindly request Mr. Ala Saleh Abu Sharita to continue with the today's program. Professor, mic is yours. أهلا وسهلا. تفضل وتابعوا.
Assalamu alaikum. أولاً, I am really glad that I joined you, and it's really good welcome for me to hear that from you. And Afghanistan people, Afghani people, they are really close to my heart because they are my friends, and we studied together, and they are really close to me. I'm really thankful for this, and I'm glad to join to this workshop and introduce our topic about sustainable environment, and the material that we can use it for net zero buildings and these things. Thank you very much. Thank you. First of all, my name is Ala Salah Abu Sharita. I am from Palestine. I am a student, a PhD student at Moscow State University of Civil Engineer. My research for master thesis was in climate change adoption and energy efficiency in Sana'a buildings. And I'm going to do some of these things in my presentation today. I will take a lot of this information from my master thesis and put it here in our presentation today. I hope everything will be good, inshallah. Now I would open my sharing, my screen. I hope if you can see. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah, sir, everything's clear.
Okay. Okay, can you see the slides here? First of all, our topic is reviving traditional cooling methods for net zero energy goals in urban housing. My research is about taking case study of one of the cities that I have lived in my whole life, which is Sana'a city. It is the capital city of Yemen. Then we will compare this city and their materials with Afghanistan and their materials. So, as you can see here, this is the introduction. This presentation is explore how time-tested passive cooling techniques such as thermal mass, cross ventilation, and shading. And of course, by shading, we are meaning in this natural lighting and all the things about light. Because as you know, when we build any building, we need to care about the area around the building and what is in front, because sometimes we need to put trees in front of the buildings. This can be a shading. And also we can use materials like, I will explain it later. It's about making shadow about window in front of the window. Can be integrated into modern urban housing to meet net zero energy targets. We are meaning here, by the meaning of net zero energy targets, we are taking in our accounts the ventilation. Net zero energy means no consuming energy from another resources, like for example, electricity and water from pumps, all these artificial resources that we need to wipe them, and we need only to count on our resources like natural light, natural air, and of course, we don't use, for example, for thermal mass, we don't use insulation like with high conductivity and artificial materials that we can affect our environment. Okay, we can here see, as you can see, the aim of the study here. This is Sana'a buildings. As you can see, this is a case study of Sana'a buildings. And as you know, we have various climate conditions in Sana'a and Yemen. For example, in the south and the west of Yemen, we have hot climate conditions. For the capital city, which is Sana'a, which is stand on the high, located on the high elevations, like a valley between two mountains around it, which is in around, I think, 3,000 kilometers above the sea level. So as you can see, the climate in Yemen is diverse, and it's not only one condition we have. So here you can see the old building of Yemen, old building of Sana'a city. As you can see, actually in every city in Arabic countries, we have new buildings and old buildings, because the ancient of Arabic area. Of course, Afghanistan also, it has the same thing we have in Kabul, and I make a research about these things. We have new buildings and old buildings, not like we can compare with USA, which is was built around 300 years ago. Here we have the research objects. It was 3 points. First of them, assess the impact of climate change. By that we mean we need to examine how changes in the climate affect buildings, structures and indoor environment in Sana'a. Because as I told you, we need to study the climate condition around the city. I will explain more and more in the next slide about this. About compare energy efficiency, we have to evaluate the energy efficiency of traditional and modern buildings to determine the more sustainable construction practices. We have, as I told you, we have modern and traditional buildings in Sana'a, and we need to examine each of them and evaluate the materials that built these buildings. We have also the last step, which is the purpose of adaptation strategies, develop strategies that integrate traditional building practices with modern energy efficiency technologies to enhance the resilience of Sana'a's buildings. Here we have, as you know, the old buildings has what we can say about the good materials. For example, we are building the old buildings from mud, and now we don't use this. We used to use mud for buildings. Now we are using only cement, which is another material. So we need to use these techniques to our new buildings. This is because I will research about this, and my research was about this, how to integrate traditional materials in the modern buildings. As you can see here, we have a climate change impact on buildings. You can see here, this is old building, and this is a new building. Here we are talking about ventilation and lighting. Look for the air. This is the cold air. It enters from the window, as you can see, from the down, and you know the circle of the air. It goes up after heating, and of course it will go out from the window. So here we have the ventilation system for modern building our houses in Sana'a, which is only window. For the old building, here in contrast, we have here, as you can see, we have, this is, as you can, this open place, we called it mashrabiya in Arabic, which is a small hole in the building. It's smaller than window. It makes the air goes inside the building, and the heat, the hot air goes out from this small hole in the wall. Also, we have the ordinary window, which is like this, small window, as you can see, that makes the air goes inside, and sometimes we have hollows inside this place. It is kamariya, called in Arabic. This is kamariya, makes the light goes inside the building without opening the curtains. You know, because our traditional in Arab countries and Muslim countries, we need to make curtains above the window. We need to use them, and instead of making a way for the light, we use kamariya. Kamariya, it's like, now I will show you. It is like this. This is kamariya, as you can see. It's a small holes with colored small holes. That is without color here. It's a glass, actually. Glass that makes the light goes inside the building without opening area here, or without opening the curtains. If we put, sorry, I heard something. Can you hear me, guys? To avoid.
Yes, sir. Everything's clear. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, oh my God. Okay, as you can see here, look for Kamaria. It's a traditional art of Yemen, in a traditional building of Yemen. Also, you can see it. It is like small holes, as I told you, with glasses, and makes the light goes inside the building without opening the curtains here. We can close the window and we can just stay under the light inside the building. So this is good thing for natural light without even using the artificial light like lamps and these things. So it will make the area lighting until the sunset. Here, Mashrabiyah, as you can see, this is Mashrabiyah. It has a small holes, as you can see here. Here, small holes, and this is like small window, but you can close it here. The small holes, this is makes the air goes inside the building even without seeing, without anyone see who is inside the building. Okay, so here we have we keep the privacy for the people who lives in the building without opening the curtains. This is makes the air goes inside. This is Mashrabiyah. It's a small holes in the building. And in the past, the women used this Mashrabiyah to see her children or who's inside the way in the streets. So it makes also to make women see who's outside, and the outside people, they can't see the women who is inside the building. This is Mashrabiyah. Okay, this is about the ventilation and natural light. So as you can see, for a traditional building, we have like another tools, we can say, another tools for a sustainable environment or net energy, net zero energy buildings. So we don't use we don't use artificial lights until the sunset. And for the air, we don't use air condition because the air goes inside Mashrabiyah and enter the buildings. For the new buildings, as you can see here only we have the window and doors. So the natural light will goes inside the building through the windows, and the natural also air goes inside the building with the window or the doors. Here we don't have Mashrabiyah or Qamariya or anything traditional. Because of that, we can use maybe artificial ventilation system in this case. This actually depends on the condition and the climate condition also about in the country itself. Because of that, we can't use, for example, this style old building here in Russia or in cold countries, because it's especially for ventilation. For the Qamariya, it can be used here. Okay, this is an example here for old building. As you can see, this is Mashrabiyah, as I told you before, Qamariya. This is Sana'a old buildings in Yemen. And this is the new building. As we can see, it's traditional also building. It's not that modern, but it's also considered as a new building. As you can see here, we have only here the glass of the window. We don't have Qamariya, we don't have Mashrabiyah, only glass of the window. This is the new. And look also for the materials. As you can see here, only we have a stone, that another type of stone. Here we have another type of stone. Okay, methods of the research. We have three methods. First of them, a climate condition analysis that we did here in our research. The second one, thermal conductivity analysis of building walls. The third one is study the heat loss for the walls from 1948 to 2022 on MATLAB, using MATLAB program. For climate condition, we used this one. Here, as you can see, we have, this is Yemen, actually. It's in the southern of Saudi Arabia. This is Saudi Arabia here. This is Sahara or desert. This is Oman. This is Yemen. Here, Yemen. For our capital city, we can see it's here in the pink point. And we choose 15, almost 15 points around the city. We need to use or to take in our accounts to take this method 15 points. Look, 2 above, 3. How can we use this point, or how did we choose these points? Actually, we need just to, this is our coordination for Sana'a city. We need to minus 0.5 and increase 0.5. 4 of them, look for here, 41.5. Here minus, it will be like, sorry, it's it depends actually on the side. I can see from here 44, then we minus around 1.5 or 0.5. It depends on the situation. Because when I draw this, I draw in many cases. Here, then after finding the coordination for 15 points around the city, we need to take the information about 3 parameters. First of them, temperature, humidity, precipitation. We have 3 parameters to study the climate condition. So from where can I find this parameter? I used NOAA, which is National Organization of America. It's for climate. You can find it in website if you make research about it. It is NOAA. It is for finding the historical data and current data for climate condition in the area that you want to study. You can find even data about Afghanistan, about any country in the world. You can find it in this website. So I took the data from this website, and I found that, I hope I have, sorry, it's not here. I found that we have like 3 parameter precipitation. I took like from 1948 till 2022. I took all the data for all the years. Then I found the average of this data for each year. Then after finding the average of each year, I found the average of the whole period. This is how can I found the average of precipitation, of humidity, of temperature. It's about taking the average in the climate. The second thing about method research, as I told you before, it's about thermal conductivity analysis. The thermal conductivity of building material used in both traditional and modern construction, and it's used in Newton law to determine the total heat loss in wall. The following formula, as you can see, determine heat loss through the wall. Here we have Q, which is meaning the heat transfer rate or heat loss. Then we have lambda, which is thermal resistance, where we can use it with this unit. And we have another unit also for it. And we have this, which is the thickness of wall by meter. Then we have the temperature N, it means in the the building. Out, which is exit, external, this is the temperature external, multiply with the area. Here we have the area. After taking this, we can find the thermal conductivity of the wall. Actually, for those who doesn't know what is it, thermal conductivity, and what we are talking about, for example, here, if I need to show you, for example, here, as you can see here, we have ordinary wall or normal wall. This is, we can say this is a wall. I need just a wall, this is wall, for example. We have here, for example, the temperature, external temperature. Usually it will be 25, 26. It depends on the climate condition, depends on the country, depends on many things. And we have here the N temperature, internal temperature. We can find it by using any measurement measurement tools that we can use it to measure the temperature inside the building. We can find the in and out and use that formula to find heat loss. Okay, here. For thickness of the wall, as you can see, it depends on material, depends on the layers, and usually it is 40 centimeter. Usually the thickness of wall is 40 centimeters here in Russia, and in many countries, like even in Yemen, the traditional building is 40 centimeter. It depends actually on the modern or traditional building. And the area of the wall, we take 1 meter. Here you can put 1 for the area. It is 1. The area we take only for 1 meter as a standard. Here, climate condition result. As I told you before, I took temperature. This is the temperature trends. As I told you before, when I took the average, this is what I was talking about. This is 1948, as you can see. It was like this. This is the average temperature in 1948 for Sana'a city, around 29.5, or it's between 29.5 to 30. It's like this here. Sorry, it's 30. It's a start from here, 30. Sorry. Then in 1950, it drops to 29.5. Then it increased to 1951 here. So this is the flow of temperature, as you can see in this figure. The slope here, it goes up actually. If you ask me why up, it's about climate change. Actually, because of CO2, about these things, it makes the whole world like what we can say, like we are in I don't know, in pressure, under pressure because of the heat. It increased year after year, as you can see here and here. It's 2020, sorry, it is like 31.5 almost. This is the temperature only for Sana'a city, which doesn't has a lot of artificial things actually. If we are talking about factories, about many things like New York or India or many countries, it is less than them away actually. Okay, this is the temperature here, trends, humidity and precipitation patterns. As you can see here, we have the average humidity, which is the opposite actually. As you can see there, here, it is increased. The slope, it's going up. The humidity, it is going down. If we have increase in the temperature, the humidity goes down. This is the relationship between humidity and temperature. As you can see, it was high in 1948 in Sana'a city, then goes down in 2020 here, almost 30, and here it was almost 40. This is the humidity and precipitation over the years. For the precipitation average, it was, as you can see, it increased only in 60s here to number 2 millimeter. Then it drops, as you can see, under the 1 millimeter. All of these actually affects by the human things and the things that they are doing about manufactories, factories, cars. All of these effects and influence this percentage and this average. For the thermal conductivity that I studied in my research, it was about modern and old buildings. As I told you, here we are talking about first one, modern building and old building. As you can see from the picture here, as you can see, modern, here we have old building. When we are talking about old and modern buildings, we are talking about the material here. Of course, the material, it's not the same. We didn't use the material in the old building here to build the new buildings. It changed typically because of the development and because many factors. Here, for example, look for modern buildings walls. We are just here studying thermal conductivity for the walls. Here we have modern building. For modern building, they used this material. This is here, these here, in the table, the first column in the table, the materials that we used in the modern building. First of all, limestone. We used limestone, cement mortar, hollow concrete block, gypsum, plaster, and of course, interior painting, and this is about another thing. Okay, we have here how many materials that we used? Almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 layers. 5 layers in the wall. As you can see here, I have here a figure. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 layers. Okay, start from external to internal. Always we used, actually for the external face, we use, as you know, limestone. After that, mortar, cement mortar. After that, we used hollow concrete block. Then the finishing materials, it's painting a gypsum. For when we are, as I told you, studying thermal conductivity, I am studying how the temperature goes up or down, okay, in the building because of the building materials. This air temperature, which is outside 29, and this is the air temperature inside 20. How it becomes 20? This is the question. For who doesn't know how it becomes 20, why it reduced from 29 to 20, here the answer. The thermal conductivity is the answer, actually. Here we have 5 things. Actually, thermal conductivity depends on 3 things or 4 things. First of all, the thickness of the wall, as we saw in our formula. Second of the things is density. After that, we have thermal conductivity. These three things is important to find the thermal conductivity, thermal resistance actually. Here we have the outside air, which is 0. We don't have density because it's nothing, it's air. Limestone, we have density for it. We calculate it. For cement, because it's small, about we didn't calculate it here. And actually it doesn't have maybe for density. It will be 1 actually, mostly like 1. Thermal conductivity, it is like here by watt and Kelvin. This is not Celsius, it's Kelvin. Thickness of the wall, this is by meter, 0.15. As you can see here, the thickness, where is it? Here. This is 15 centimeter. Then we have the, as you can see, 0.02 for mortar and 0.15 again for the cement hollow blocks. After that, we have 0.0 for gypsum and painting. Then we have to find thermal resistance, which is we have formula for it. It's easy. You need just to divide one of them on each other, thermal conductivity on thickness, and you can find the thermal resistance. It's easy to find it. Then we have to calculate thermal resistance for total here, as you can see, for the building. So after finding thermal resistance, we can know thermal heat loss in the building. It is from 29, we have 20, we have the heat loss by each layer. As you can see in this layer, it was 27, then it dropped to 24 in this layer, mortar, then it dropped to 22 in this layer, which is hollow block. After that, for internal face, it was 20. This is how we can do measure heat loss for each layer by, of course, using the formula here. As you can see, the formula here. This is how we can use it. And we did this, thermal conductivity, this for heat loss by each year. As I told you before, I found the average temperature. Yes, here, the average temperature. This is outside of the building. So we have here T external. For each year, as you can see, for each year, we have the temperature, external temperature. I put it in MATLAB, and I used the formula of heat loss. And actually, we need to be, actually, we can put 20 for internal, this 20, it's constant. Okay, guys, it's constant because we need the temperature inside the building. It will be comfortable for human skin and human life, which is a 20. It's constant. This is constant. But the outside, it's not constant, and we need to find it by the average temperature for each year, as I told you here. Here. I found it for each year, the average temperature. I put it in MATLAB. I used that total heat loss here for MATLAB. Then I found this slope. As you can see, the temperature, the total heat loss, it increased for each year. If you ask me why, because the temperature increased. The same thing, it will be affect our formula, and it will be increased, as you can see, because it is an upside of our formula. As you can see, the T here, it's not down, it's up. So it will be increased as the Q increased, T increased. It will be increased. Here we have the average. As you can see, it's about 747, which is, this is the in watt, the unit in watt. It is in watt, which is the highest heat loss in the buildings in almost 2019, 2019, it was the highest heat loss for buildings in modern building. Comparing now with the traditional building, as I told you before, for modern building, we had almost 5 layers. For traditional building, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers. So it's less than modern building, about 1 layer. Here we have limestone, the same thing. But instead of using cement mortar, we used mud here. So it has sufficient effect here. Then we have gypsum, plaster. After that, painting. We don't have here, as you can see, we don't have a block masonry or a hollow block. Also, we have density. We have thermal conductivity, thickness, and then we have thermal resistance. I used it in the same way. I calculated. As you can see in this figure here, it was 29 outside, then it dropped to 28 in the first layer. But look, for using mud, it was 27 here. When we used cement mortar, it was 24. It dropped more than mud. Also here we have a 22.6. For a block, it was 22.3. So it depends on the layers. As you can see, it is thicker. The thickness is here, it's thicker than the modern, of course, because the limestone, it was in the traditional building, it was thicker than in the modern building. And also we used mud here. The same thing, as you can see, the heat loss. As you can see, it increased here by 1,500 for traditional building walls. This is the total heat loss for a traditional building. All of these, we are talking about the walls. This is comparative analysis between them. As you can see, traditional wall and modern wall, and how was it, and which one has the most highest percentage in heat loss. Here I am talking about Afghanistan. I want to talk about Afghanistan architecture. As I know, I made a research about Afghanistan. Actually, we have similar things between Sana'a city and Kabul city. It is the climate. The climate almost the same. We have harsh climates condition, and the culture value, it's the same. We are thinking about family life and privacy. All of these things, because as we know, we are Muslim, we are thinking about this. We are using curtains in Sana'a, we are using curtains in Afghanistan. But as you can see here in Afghanistan, this is a traditional building. As we can see only from outside the picture, we can see it built by mud, almost by mud, which is close to traditional building of Sana'a. Here we have key barrels, house level. It depends on many items or parameters between Sana'a and Bamiyan. I hope I read it correctly. Bamiyan traditional houses. The building materials. Sana'a building, we used ramad earth. Ramad earth, it is like ash, like close to ash or something like this. And we have mud. Of course, we have in Afghanistan, in Kabul, Bamiyan traditional houses. Actually, I think it's not in Kabul. It is mud, brick, also stone. We have a stone and wood. Here we don't have wood, as you can see. But actually, in Sana'a buildings, we use wood for the roof. For the roof, we use wood. Here, I think they didn't mention thermal strategy. Thick walls, as I told you, almost in 40 centimeter in traditional buildings in Sana'a. For insulation, so we don't need insulation layer. As here in Russia, we have to use wool for insulation layer. In Afghanistan, we have in Bamiyan traditional houses, we have thick walls, often with clay or lime plaster. For ventilation, narrow windows, also small windows or narrow windows, high openings, internal country yard. Yes, I saw in Afghanistan, the buildings, it has yard almost. In Sana'a city, as I hope I have a picture here, for Sana'a, we don't have yard in for the houses. Here, as you can see, this is Sana'a city. It's almost the building next to each other. Look, we don't have even like space between each building. It's close to each other. The building almost has 1,000 years. It is established almost 1,000. This building, their age is 1,000 years, and it is still inhabited actually. This is really miracle here in Sana'a. Because of that, it's on UNESCO list. For Afghanistanian buildings, it has the good thing. It has good air for the family. They have like a yard around the building, like Palestine also. We have the same thing. We care about the yard. We have a yard. We have trees in the yard. In Yemen or in Sana'a, they don't care about this. They only have like a small yard in center of between maybe 10 buildings. So they have yard. They don't care about the yard. But it is good for Afghanistanian building. They have yard almost, as you can see, actually here, it has all of them yard. This is for ventilation. So we are talking about natural ventilation. They can smell the air from the yard. The layout of the building itself is tower in Yemen. As you saw before, it was like 3 floors or maybe 5 to 6 to 7. It depends. It's like tower building, vertical zoning by privacy. For Bamiyan traditional houses, it's horizontal spread, central country yard, privacy zoning. So in Afghanistan, they are care only about the horizontal. For example, they don't have more than 3 or 4 floors for a traditional building or in old city. The roof, flat roofs for night cooling. For Afghanistan or Bamiyan, it was flat roofs, often used seasonally for sleeping. Cultural logic, space for women and men. It's also the same thing for Afghanistan. Here also for building material, we talked about them. Here they mentioned the timber. The timber, actually, we are using timber usually with mud to make it more stronger. We make it more stronger by using timber. We make the mud stronger, and it can be very good for building. Thermal function, very thick walls, as we talked about, and temperature. Roof, we talked about. Ventilation techniques. Here, this is a new vertical ventilation shafts. Camaria, as I told you before, colored glass and fan light. For window also, we have window and mashrabiyah, they didn't mention here. For ventilation in Afghanistan, it was country yard, centered houses, enhanced airflow, and high-level windows. So in Afghanistan, they don't make the window on the floor, like I think high, more than meter or 2 meter above the earth. Culture adoption, architecture supports Islamic, the same thing of Afghanistan. Construction logic was built upward due to dense urban land. As I told you before, it is upward because of the dense urban plan, and we have a small area in Sana'a city which is surrounded by wall, and we have like 8 doors for the city. It was protected the city from the enemy from outside the city. For Kabul, here actually we have built horizontally for family growth and privacy. It doesn't, as I know, it doesn't surrounded by wall like Sana'a city. Kabul city doesn't surrounded by wall. This is also one of the key factors that because of that, they have like built horizontally. They have their space, they are protected, and they don't need to build a wall around the city. This is the conclusion here. The study highlights the relationship between precipitation, temperature, and humidity in Sana'a, and we highlighted the negative correlation with population growth, highlighting the need for environmental policies addressing urbanization. For example, here I didn't mention this in this presentation, but it was in the last one. It's about population. We have population factor. We need to study population factor for our sustainable, for environment and these things for building. And it has almost significant effect on buildings and the area. Traditional building also have thick walls and excellent thermal characteristics, reducing heat and cooling needs. However, modern buildings use new material like reinforced concrete and large windows. This is a good thing for the modern building. It has like almost like, as you can see in here, for wide here, as you can see, look for the window. It is wide. So when we increased the area of the window, we are increase the net zero energy, net zero energy here. Because of that, in the the new rules of buildings here in Russia, they have to make 30% of the building is window. We need as much as we can see windows here to make the natural light goes inside the building without using artificial lights like lamp or anything else. For the old buildings, it has actually good thing, which is Kamaria, but we have bad things or we can say here, we can see it is the narrow windows or small windows here. So this is not good for natural light. Okay, for traditional materials have good thermal mass properties and are energy saving. This is the thing that we agree, all of us agree about it, because thermal mass properties for mud, it's better than concrete and better than cement. However, material have high strength. As I told you, the strength of concrete is stronger than mud in our building. Here, recommendations and future research. To enhance the resilience of energy efficiency of buildings in Sana'a, the following adaptation strategies are recommended. We need, first of all, promote the use of traditional building materials, encourage the use of rammed earth and mud bricks, which offer better thermal insulation. Instead of using cement mortar, we can use mud bricks or mud instead of cement mortar because it has lower thermal conductivity than cement. Implement energy efficiency, updating existing buildings with energy efficient technologies to reduce energy consumption here, and integrate renewable energy sources in our building. For example, we can use renewable energy like solar panels for lighting, for energy, for electricity, instead of using the normal generator. We can use solar panels, which will provide our building with electricity that it needs without using oil and emitted CO2 from the building. For my recommendation for future research directions, we need to explore sustainable building materials. I am thinking about a new research actually, which is about studying the material itself from another characteristics, properties, sorry, I couldn't pronounce that word, properties of the material. I think we need to study more and more about the material. And I'm thinking about this for the next article. I want to write an article about these things. This is the list of my publication, and I'm really thankful for you for listening to me. I am really thankful for you for this. And if you have any questions about this, it's really my pleasure to answer any question from you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the thank you so much for the kind, effective information that you provided to us. I'm sure that everyone who is present here or watching you live from YouTube has been enjoying and learning at the same time. Thank you so much. It's time for taking some questions. I would like to ask you, do you want me to take one by one questions, or you want me to take multiple questions at a time and then you will answer all of them?
No, we can take one by one. It will be better.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
علم دریایی است بی حد و کنار، طالب علم است غواص بهار. ممنون و سپاسگزار هستیم از ایشان بابت ارائه مفید و از سازنده ایشان. حالا نوبت سوالا رسیده. دوستان عزیز، استادان گرانمهر، هر یک از شما ایزان که سوال دارین دست خود بلند نمایین. من حتما نام شما رو صدا میزنم. فقط خواهش میکنم که سوالاتتان کوتاه، مختصر و مرتبط به موضوع مشخص به بیان نمایین. دوستان عزیز سوال هست؟ بله، از جناب محترم دکتر ضمیر ساینزن میخوایم که سوال خود مطرح بسازن.
Once again, thank you very much. I was wondering, what do you think would be the limitation or gaps in your research to adapt the traditional way into new building that we are currently on it? Do you think there is a relationship, or do you think there would be a huge gaps between integration the old building to the new building, or we can easily use the traditional method in our new buildings and do that?
Yes, it's a good question, actually. Yes, it depends on the policy of the government itself. If we make like new rules about using the mud instead of concrete mortar or cement mortar, it will be obligation for all people who wants to build their houses. They will need to use mud instead of, for example, cement. This is one of the things that we can make it. And actually, we need to increase the knowledge for people and ask them to know more about solar panels, to know more about ventilations. Using Camarilla is good actually for modern building. It's not only for the shape of the building, actually also for the natural light. It will be very good. Also, I agree for these things. But all about policies and how to educate the people about this. Thank you. I hope this is enough, Mr. Ahmed.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a lot. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. بانو نظیفه امیری مدیر ثروت دانشگاهی طب مالوجی بفرمایید. مسئله خودم مطرح.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you, sir, so much for your wonderful presentation and for sharing your knowledge with us. It's very important and helpful. As a dental student, I may not be from an engineering background, but I always enjoy learning about how different fields contribute to our world. So my question is, in Western countries, especially, and also in Middle East countries like I can say UAE, where like we have the tall building, the Burj Khalifa. And so according to what you analyze, what do you think about the climate change? How can it affect the tall buildings like Burj Khalifa? Or is there any cooling methods possible to maintain the temperature? Thank you.
Yes, for UAE and the tower buildings like skyscraper in UAE, they are using actually the building itself is designed by, we have two parameters to design tower buildings. We are taking in our account earthquake or wind as effect, outside effect for building. For buildings like Burj Khalifa, because our region is not related that had earthquake, we are designing the building about wind, which is the wind. So in this case, we are taking our account the wind, its strength, and for ventilation, we have not natural ventilation. In this case, we have artificial ventilations because we can't open the window on that high. You know, with the condition in UAE, they have like desert, and sometimes they have stormy desert that has sand inside it, so they can't open the window inside the tower. So because of that, they are counting on artificial ventilation. They are not using natural ventilation, but they are on the way to use sustainable environment, sustainable materials, and for example, the glass and these things. They are good for natural light. If we are taking our account the light, it goes inside the building by using this wide windows. So it's good, yes. They have bad side and good side. If we are talking about ventilation and natural light. And thank you, Ms. Nazifa.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nazifa and Mr. Abu Salah. Sorry, Mr. Salah. بانو سریا حلیم فهم شما سوال خدا بتنسوس.
Question is, how can the traditional buildings of Sana be adapted to current climatic conditions to improve energy effectively without compromising their historical and artistical value?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Soraya Halim. Actually, Sana'a buildings was there before us, before like 1,000 years. So if we are comparing this about how it is standard against the wind, against the all the natural disaster that happened in 1,000 years, we are talking about here about a small period. We are talking about like years, but because it built by mud, which was the affordable material in that time, it was mud and timber. So it has strength in this case. And we have also in Sana'a traditional building, they protect their privacy, their heritage by, for example, policies. In Sana'a traditional, in the old city, they don't have to remove any building. If anyone wants to build a new building instead of his building, it will be in the judge. Because of that, he will be in the jail. It's an obligation in Sana'a. And the city itself in UNESCO, because of that, it's monitored by UN and the government itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Halim and Mr. Professor. بانو شکیبا یوسفی از دانشکده انجینیری مفهوم سوال خود را کوتاه مشخص بیان کنید.
Okay, hello and good night, everyone. I hope you are all doing well and stay healthy. I'm truly happy tonight to have the presence of our respected professor. We learned some really important and practical points, and I would like to thank the professor for that. And I also have a question. In what ways can traditional cooling methods like wind towers and evaporative cooling be adapted and used in modern buildings to help achieve net zero energy goals in cities? Thank you.
I didn't get it, sorry. Are you asking how to use the traditional methods in the new buildings to achieve net zero building?
بانو شکیبا فکر کنم سوال شما درست متوجه نشدم. میشه بپرسید دوباره؟
Yes, sure.
Yeah, okay. As I told you in my research, I studied this because of that goal, that we need to integrate the way that we built our buildings in the past to use it in the new era. Like, as I told you, we need to use mud, we need to use natural ventilation, natural light. Actually, we started to use, as Ms. Nazifa said about tower buildings, it has big window. So in this case, we don't have to use artificial lights inside the building. We have big window that makes the lights goes inside the building almost all the day without using artificial lamp or artificial lights like lamp or any kind of these things. So this is one of the things that we used in new buildings, which is pros actually comparing with the old building. But we can also use for our religion, because we are Muslim and these things, we can use kamariya for normal houses. I'm not talking about towers. Normal houses, we can use kamariya and mashrabiya, these things. It will has good advantage also. And thank you, Shakiba. Thank you, Ms. Shakiba. I don't know what is that.
Thank you so much, sir, for your patience and for everything you've done. Thank you so much. Ms. Islamzai?
Yes, thank you. بل ګیټس وایي له هغه کسانو سره چې له تاسو سره حسادت کوي نفرت مه کوئ، ځکه چې هغوی منلي دي چې تاسو له هغوی څخه بهتره یې. له خپلې خوږې همکارې څخه په مننې سره بلنه ورکوم ښاغلی احمد ضمیر ته تر څو نننی پروګرام جمع‌بندي کړي. ښاغلی احمد ضمیر، مایک ستاسو په خدمت کې.
یک دنیا ممنون همتون. در پایان وبینار معلم صمیمانه از جناب آقای صلاح ابو شریطه بابت ارائه علمی پربار و الهام بخشان تشکری کنم. مطالب ارزشمندشان درباره روش‌های سنتی، سردسازی و نقشه هایی که در ساختمانهای شهری با انرژی صفر در گذشته به کار می رفت و ما میتونیم او را در ساختمانهای جدید بانیم، واقعا خیلی ارزشمند بودن. As we come to the end of today's webinar, I would like to take a moment to extend our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Allah Saleh Abu Sharita for his informative and inspiring presentation. Your insights into traditional cooling methods and their relevance in the pursuit of net zero energy building have given us all valuable knowledge to reflect and apply in our fields. It is very grateful. We are very grateful for your time and your expertise and own willingness to share your research with us. And also to all attendees, I would like to say that thank you for joining us and for your engagement throughout the session. We hope today's discussion have sparked the new ideas and encouraged deeper thinking about suitable and sustainable architecture solution rooted in our culture heritage. And also I could say that Mr. Dr. Allah Saleh, that this method, this traditional old method, could save our cultural heritage, which is quite a very valuable things for a country which could remain for centuries and centuries, and especially for now, which all the world, all the countries, what I mean by all the world, that all the countries pushing the boundaries and push all the countries, whether it is a developed or a developing countries, towards sustainability. Whether we live a very small footprint on Earth, as a start from there, but sometimes these traditional way, while it saves our culture heritage, it could save the humanity and the Earth. And we will look forward to welcoming you again, sir, in future events. And once again, deeply thank you so much for your amazing and outstanding presentation for us today. We learned a lot, and we try to inshallah keep that in our future planning, especially for those people who are working in the same route or in the same department. And have a wonderful every day, and goodbye, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Inshallah, we will meet again, inshallah, and I'm really glad to see you again. I'm really glad to having me, actually, and thank you very much.
Yeah, it was an honor, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
په مننې سره ډیره زیاته مننه. اوس هم د احترام په لوړ کمال بلنه کوم ښاغلي محترم ګلرحمان عبدالرحیم زی د انجینري پوهنځي محترم رئیس صاحب ته تر څو خپلې ویناوې سره شریکې کړي. رئیس صاحب مهرباني.
سلامونه او نیکې هیلې. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. د غونډو ګډونوالو ته محترم رئیس صاحب ته، محترم استاد زمیر صاحب، محترم معاونین صاحب او د پوهنتون علمی کدر ته، ټولو ګرانو همکارانو ته او ټولو محصلینو ته السلام علیکم ورحمت الله وبرکاتو. امیدوارم چې ټول روغ او جوړ اوسئ. It was a good presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. Allah Salah, for the tremendous workshop that you have did today with Women Online University. It is a lot to the engineering faculty, for our students, for our teachers, for all over the academic peoples and teams around Women Online University, especially in Afghanistan. It was an efficient workshop. It is very important nowadays in the construction engineering that we need to follow up or take steps to the efficiency, whether if it is energy efficiency, whether if it is thermal efficiency, whatever it is, we need to step up to energy efficiency in the buildings, thermal efficiency, and so on. The good ventilation, the good orientation that we have, we need to have or we need to apply on our structures or buildings. The important thing nowadays is sustainability, as it is a very important concern in the construction engineering. And you just did an awareness workshop to our students, to our colleagues, in order to think about the energy efficiency, the efficiency in the construction engineering. I say that it's my mind that the more mechanical we are, the more we will damage the environment. So if we help the environment, or if we contribute to the climate changes in a positive way, so we need to think about the environmental issues, or eco-friendly system, or creating eco-friendly system to the environment. It was a good workshop. It was a learning workshop. It was an awareness for all of us to get very efficient steps towards efficiency. The world is not for us. It is a box that we need to deliver to our peoples who are upcoming and next, or for the next generation. So we need to use the world as that we are giving this world to other peoples. It is not for us to use it in a bad way. This is the matter in today's workshop. ټولو ګډونوالو ډیره مننه کوم. بسیار زیاد تشکر. سلامت باشین. رئیس صاحب بزرگوار بسیار وقت اینجا، یعنی با او سکیجول و تقسیم اوقات مصروفی که دارند، از اول برنامه تا آخر برنامه پای برنامه نشستند. دکتر صاحب زمیر نظر به مصروفیت هایی که داشتن آمدن اینجا اشتراک کردن. همه همکارای ما که دستشان درد نکنه، واقعا یک افتخار هستن. امی برنامه را برنامه ریزی کردن از شروع تا به آخر. امی یعنی ببینید چقدر قدم های بزرگ، چقدر قدم های مؤثر برای ایژوکیشن است. ما باید یعنی تشکری بکنیم از تمام اعضا و از تمام کسایی که در این برنامه و در این بخشا، نه تنها این هفته، هر هفته با همین مصروفیت کار میکنن، بالاخره زمینه مساعد میسازن به همشیرای ما، به خواهرای ما، بر ما که ما هر هفته یک چیز جدید بیاموزیم و او را برسانیم به آیندای خود. یعنی مگر چه زبان ما پشتو است، بدری شاید بعضی لغاتای ما درست نبه، ولی یک کار بسیار بزرگ است و کار بسیار خیر است. من مولا میگم که حسبنا الله و نعم الوکیل، و دیگه خداوند ما را کمک بکنه که دیگه هم در خدمت اینمی جامعه تشنه ایژوکیشن که در افغانستان بسیار زیاد هر وقت ضرورت بوده و حال بسیار زیاد ضرورت است، برای همه ما آماده از یک پرزنتیشن ها باشیم و ممنون یک خدمت بکنیم. امیدوار هستم گپای ما پراغنده نبوده باشه. و وقت شما رو نگیرم. تشکر. Thank you very much, Dr. Saib. You did a tremendous work for today. It was a lot. It is not just a presentation, normal presentation that you did for different universities, that you did for different organization in different countries, or in different events you did presentation. But this presentation is special because you are presenting things for those who are tremendously thinking about education. Those who are, the education has a very big value for them. It was a very good workshop. I hope that you will work with us for the next future days or for the next future months. We need your contribution. We need your other workshops. We need your friends' workshop to do it here. Whatever new, we are accepting it in Faculty of Engineering. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gol Rahman. I'm really thankful for this invitation, and it was a very new experience for me, and this is good for me, and I'm really thankful for having me in this university, and I hope everything good will be happen to the student, and may Allah help you and your students in this university. Thank you very much.
درنو ګډونوالو، د دې علمي وبینار په پای کې زه له ټولو ګډونوالو او حاضرینو څخه صمیمانه مننه کوم چې په دې وبینار کې خپل وخت او پوهه شریک کړه. ستاسو ارزښتناک نظریات د دې پروسې د لا ښه کولو لپاره خورا اهمیت لري. له الله تعالی څخه غواړم چې ستاسو ټولو هڅو، ګډون او علمي پوهه په خپل کمالاتو کې ومني. هیله لرم چې د دې علمي غونډې څخه ترلاسه شوي معلومات او تجربې ستاسو په ژوند کې د پرمختګ، بریا او رفاه لامل شي. الله تعالی دې تاسو ته بریالیتوب، پوهه او د خپلې لارې روښانتیا ور په برخه کړي. تاسو ته د